me start the recording now. That way we will have this to go back into later if we want to look at it. If maybe I'm going too fast, you don't have to panic. So this is my Moxi Monday class, and the workshop will be the 12-minute listing presentation. So how do we get it? Some tips and tricks for using it, and really what is it for? And more importantly, how can it help me build my business and get more listings? Because that's really what it's all about, that paycheck and getting that stuff into the timeline, into the pipeline, so that we always have something coming down the road. We know we can pay those bills in the future. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off so that I'm not distracting. I do tend to talk with my hands. For those of you who have been in my classes before, you know that you can jump in at any time. Feel free to interrupt me. I tend to interrupt people a lot, so I do apologize, but I will do my best to answer your questions as they come up. And you just heard my phone droid. I'm going to go ahead and open Teams on my phone as well. If you have any questions and don't want to interrupt, you can always throw those in the chat as well. Throw those in. So we'll just put a little smiley face in there so that I can find myself. There we go. Now it's popped up on my phone, so I will tend to look at that periodically if you have any questions that do come up. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you. And you'll see here I have lovely Coldwell Banker, and we're always going to start by going into Desk. Desk is going to be our go-to for just about everything that we do in the system. And for this purpose, we're going to go into Moxi. Now you can see on my screen here, I have Moxi at the top, but maybe I don't know where to find Moxi. I can type that in at the top. I know that I say that in every class, but that's one of my favorite features of Desk. I can eliminate the clutter. I don't have to look for anything, and I can just pull up that Moxi Present. So this is our comprehensive listing and marketing CMA tool, and I'm able to create listing presentations in Moxi. Anything that I create, the system will save. That said, I do highly recommend, from my professional opinion, that you start with create new each time. And I will show you how to set up a specific template that you can go back to. So you'll see here now I have 9 pages of reports, and these are reports that are not archived. I can also archive them as well. So there are a lot of different things that you can do on Moxi, but today we're going to do our 12-minute listing presentation. Not only am I going to tell you how to find it and how to customize it to fit your narrative as an independent agent, but I'm also going to give you a couple extra tips and tricks when you're using it as well. Now, to get started, the first thing that I want to do is I want to create new. This is after the assumption that you've already gone in and created your profile and made sure that you are maxed out. You have a photo, so you always have a face, and that all of your contact information and business social media is included as well. So we're going to go ahead and create new. And you'll see here I have several options. Because this is a 12-minute listing presentation, I do want to start with a seller presentation, and I can go from there. I'm going to hit the continue button, and then here you're going to see I have a lot of templates because I'm a Coldwell Banker employee. Hopefully you are not given all of this extra information. One day we're going to do Hawaii. But here we're going to look down for our Mid-Atlantic region. And you will see several different options. So I do have a gold 12-minute listing presentation, a platinum 12-minute listing presentation, as well as a silver 12-minute listing presentation, and they are in alphabetical order. I can go through. I can start from my regular seller's presentation, and I can add the 12-minute presentation into that if I choose. But however I start, the way that I finish, I can save as a template, and you'll see that if I continue through all of the other different districts that I have available to me as an employee, Once you get down to the bottom, you're going to find my templates. So here I have loads of templates that I have gone in and I have created. Use this template, use this one, different things that I've worked on with different, so platinum listing concierge, listing presentation. So here you're going to see that I have a listing presentation anytime I go out and I know that I have, I'm going to use my listing concierge. I'm going to use that platinum package. I can just go in and select this particular template and I have everything in there that I need. If I want to see the pages included, I can click that little button. It will take it a hot minute and a half to come up and it will remind me what pages did I include in that template that I have already saved. So you can see here, I have like way too many. So I probably want to whittle that down just a little bit. But you'll see here all of the different pages that I have included. So this is a lot more than just 12 minutes, and that's okay. I can go through and I can whittle those down for anybody that I want to speak with. So here we're just going to go through the 12-minute, and I'm going to go ahead and pick the gold just because it's the one that's in the middle, so I don't want to play favorites. And we'll choose that Mid-Atlantic Gold 12-minute listing presentation, and we're going to hit continue. Now, I'll warn you, once you go in, to put in prepared for, so I'm just going to say, I'll put in my parents. And then I want to make sure that I'm on the Bright MLS. Or maybe I just want to, for the sake of this class, and we're going to hit create. So you would definitely want to put your client's information in there. And then it comes to the do nothing page. This is where people always kind of get hung up just a little bit because it looks like the system isn't doing anything. I promise you it is. It's thinking, and it's going to pull over all of those pages with a very, very high definition, high resolution photos for your marketing. So then you'll see that little circle is going to come up for us, and it's going to put us through to our presentation. This is where you have several options, and I really enjoy the fact that they've given us so many different options to use this. I can go in and copy the information from the MLS number. Once I put that in, the data will autofill. Now, it won't auto update, but it will autofill. I can always replace the subject property with a default image or add a new image, even if this is just a cell phone picture as I've driven by the property, something, excuse me, that is current and updated. Or again, I can use a stock image. If I choose to update and pull this information from the system, I do need to be extremely careful that I go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that the information is accurate. I say this from experience, having worked with a listing agent who, we had a buyer that came through, purchased a home, and was looking at a wrong list card, and some of the information was inaccurate. For example, there were gas heat, and the old list card had electric. The agent before had not listed it correctly. So you definitely want to make sure that you've made any updates, anything that you already know. If the property has never been listed on the MLS before, you want to go in and just go ahead and include that information and complete the information here as you see fit. If you don't wish to include any of this information in your listing presentation, that's okay too. It's completely up to you. And then we're going to hit the lovely continue button down at the bottom. This is where you do have the option to include a CMA with your presentation. And you'll see here that I'm getting listings already that are active in my community close to this particular subject property. I can go in and do my CMA in the Moxi system, or as most agents prefer to do it in the MLS, that's okay too. I can type in all of the MLS numbers as I receive them from the MLS in doing my CMA there. So I can just kind of drag them in. Let's say I just want to include these. I'll go ahead and include these just for the sake of time. and then I will move on down here to the continue button. Now, please note that I don't have to include this information. I can just include the original pages when I came in as well. So I'm going to continue through. It's going to show me my display order and some of those other properties. I can list them the way that I choose. Maybe I want them high to low, active to sold, etc. And it's going to give me a rundown right here of what I have included, as well as a summary. I'm also able to add a custom listing. So for those of you that would like to add maybe a coming soon listing that's not already being shown, or a FSBO, something of that nature, you're able to pull that as well, and you can view all of the listings on the map as well. So once we scroll to the bottom, we can hit this continue button. This is the estimated pricing and the net proceeds. So I probably don't have this information just yet. It's not something that I absolutely need to include. Again, it's your choice. And then I'm going to hit continue. You're going to see that once I hit continue, it's going to put me to the very last page, which are the pages. Now you'll see that I did add a little bit of information with my CMA, but here I have all of the pages needed for my 12-minute listing presentation. But wait, there's more. Now we have a new ability to go into the cover page and to click this lovely edit button right here. Once I click that, I'm able to change the cover image. So maybe I want a different image for my PDF. I want to show who it's being prepared for. I can toggle some of this information on and off as I see fit. And I can also add an image here. Now this image is saved. You can see here I have a library of some things that I've already saved. And I can save something that's extremely generic, like some keys that I got that were a free stock image, or maybe I have a picture of the home itself and I can add that as well. I can also upload directly from my computer or try to find something on the web as well. So we'll go ahead and add that, and then I'm going to change it and update it so that I can use that photo. And when I click on that change button at the bottom, you'll see it gives me some different formats. I will tell you that this is a direct result of agent request. Several agents right before quarantine hit were like, I don't like these. They're ugly. They're very generic. Can't we make it look pretty? Can't we put the property on it? Yes, you can. You're able to include that here. So for the sake of time, we'll just select this one and we'll go through and X off of that. And you'll see it'll take it a second and then it will automatically update. So here you'll see I have all of the different components of my 12-minute listing presentation, and I can view those here and see what it will look like on the web, and also what it would look like if I choose to print that out and take it with me. So you'll see here, I can scroll through. I've got that photo of the property. Again, that was just a drive-by cell phone picture that I took. It has the client's name here, the property address, and this date here. Every time someone opens this, it will be today's date. So if I open this tomorrow, or let's say I have an appointment on Thursday, it will come up with the 17th, and that's when I can open it, and it will always be current. And then it feeds through the system. So you will say, you will see that I am Realty because I'm an employee. Yours will still have residential brokerage there for you to keep you compliant. We can use these little arrows down here as well as the hamburger menu to go through our list here to see everything that's included. Now I have my profile completed. You'll see everything in my profile is here. My information feeds through Trident and some of it through the system. Others feed through what I've actually included myself. And then you'll see some information for that 12-minute listing presentation. So a lot of agents are saying, you know, I'm using Listing Concierge. I don't want to take a lot of time. I just want to give somebody this information when I'm sitting in front of them. A lot of agents I work with have gone into the system and they've gotten the 56-page listing presentation. They've whittled it down to how they want it to present, and they send that ahead of time. This is something you can sit down with a seller in literally 12 minutes and go over. This is the marketing as your agent that I present. This is what I offer you. This is what I give. So why would you list with me? So nationwide, we are number one. We are the number one residential real estate brokerage for 23 years running, and that comes from Real Trends, which really is a trusted source in the real estate business. I love this because we are so far ahead of so many of our competitors. This just adds to our value proposition.
Hey, Angie.
Sure.
Back when you decide which template you're going to use, difference between silver, gold, and platinum, are the options the same? I mean, why would you choose one over the other?
So the reason that you would choose, so silver, gold, and platinum are the listing concierge packages that you can get. And all the packages are just a little bit different. So for example, silver, when you choose silver, when you get to this exclusive property marketing page, it's not going to have the silver envelope home announcements. It will have that postcard instead. When you get to platinum, it's going to have some information. Instead of having 10 days of internet and social media marketing through your Boost My Home Spotter, you're going to have 3 weeks instead. So it's going to give you some extra information, as well as that seller update that you do get with the gold and the platinum that you may not get with silver.
Okay, I didn't realize they were connected like that. So you would need to know in advance which programs you were planning on using, if any.
Yeah, and you can always go through as well and determine that before you meet with them. I think a really good recommendation as a professional is anything up to a certain price point would be silver. Anything kind of in the middle of 2 price points would be gold, and anything over that might be platinum. I work with several agents that just do gold for everything, or they do platinum for everything, or silver. Again, I love this because it really, you can tailor it to your own personal business style and how you want to work that. And that doesn't mean that if I go on a listing presentation and I'm telling them about a silver package, that if that's not wowing them, I can say, well, wait, there's more. Maybe I can upgrade you. And instead of getting these postcards, I can do some silver envelope home announcements instead. That will just update your marketing and give you a little extra. I did work with an agent the other day. I kind of really liked what she did. She said, this is my base marketing, and she had the silver. And she said, you know, when we get to the commission, if you're willing to pay, you know, instead of 3%, you're willing to pay 3.5. I'm able then to add additional marketing to your property. And that's when she went with the platinum package, because she was getting that extra, you know, 0.5%. So it was paying for the package, because I'm never going to tell anybody that this is a package that Coldwell Banker has given to me. As I'm presenting this 12-minute listing presentation, and I'm going through each of the components that I'm going to offer in the marketing that I provide as an agent, I'm letting them know I have a digital marketing team who gives me exceptional marketing. And they, you know, I have a professional photographer that I work with. We meet at the house. I get the photography. I give it to my digital marketing team, and they immediately start online promotion. We start targeting, you know, online advertising, and it gives them a snapshot here, and then it goes through each piece. So why is professional photography important right now? We know that it's important because everyone goes to the internet. Things are virtual now more than they've ever been before. People are going in, and really the first property tour of any listing is usually online. We know it very well. I did this as well when I bought my house. I went online, I looked at the property photos, and I'll be honest, the ones that had professional photos, I'm not fooled. I don't think that it's going to look that spectacular in person all of the time, but it made me more likely to visit the property in person because it looked very inviting online. And that's just part of the property marketing that I offer as an agent. You'll see here with this package, I have 36 professional photos, and I also do a virtual twilight photo. That's really important too, because people will say, well, what is that? What is the point of that? You guys will notice if you've ever been on Facebook, as you scroll through, I'll tell you that those really wow me. I tend to stop and look at those virtual twilight photos. They just really pop on social media, and it gives me just one more way of marketing the property where it looks a little bit different as well. So these are perfect for print and online. And of course, our goal is to make the property look its very best. Property brochures. So this is also something that I provide. I have property brochures. I do have a marketing team, again, my digital marketing team, that's going to put together this beautiful property brochure alongside me, and we're going to print that out. It is going to be professionally printed. We're going to bleed to the end of the page. It will be on professional glossy or matte cardstock, whichever you prefer. And this is where you're able to take this section of your 12-minute marketing, your listing presentation, and if you already have used it and you already have some examples of the marketing provided, you're able to show those and showcase them to your seller. Here I have an 11 by 17 calendar fold out. That's a very beautiful piece. There's also an 8 by 8 booklet, and we also have the 11 by 8.5 as well. And that's something that I think is very impressive as well. If you've already used some of these and you have copies, you're able to bring them with you and let your seller decide which one do you prefer, which one do you like the best for your marketing, because again, this is a partnership. We're partnering together to get this home sold. But again, we are doing it with very professional and beautiful materials. And we know too that it's really because I'm marketing myself through these materials. I'm not just marketing the property. Then in addition, they get that single property website. So that's viewable on all devices. It is formatted for your mobile, for your desktop, and for tablets as well. And it's very easy to share via social media. So this is something that your sellers are able to share as well with their sphere, in addition to what you're already doing. We can target their online advertising, and this is geographic targeting that markets their property to local buyers online and social media. So for those who aren't aware, this is the Boost by HomeSpotter feature. This does not just market on Instagram and Facebook. This markets to people wherever they are. It could be CNN on the Weather Channel. It could be HGTV, just so many Nike. There's like all these different places people go, and you always get those little, those little ads that follow you around the internet. And that's all algorithms and algebra. So the internet sees what you're looking at, and it wants to give you more because the internet wants you to use the internet more. And in doing so, this isn't going to target, for example, my 17-year-old son who might be on the internet doing school or playing Fortnite, because he's not someone that's going to be buying this property. It's going to specifically target people who are looking for moving companies. They're looking for lenders. They're looking at real estate. They're looking at HGTV and things that are related to real estate. It's going to put our ad in front of them. So it's going to target a better audience, not just everybody on the internet. The other benefit of this is letting people know that while I'm using this exclusive property marketing to market your listing, what happens is I'm also getting information for the people who are clicking on your ad. So once someone has gone in and they looked at this house and they want more information and they've clicked through, as the listing agent, I'm able to contact them and I'm able to inquire to see how fast I can get them in to show them the property. We know as agents that's really because we want to get some leads. We want to get some people in our pipeline pipeline that we can, lead gen to and also create clients from. But to a seller, this is really important because it's driving business and marketing the property. So as many people as possible see it, and we also get as many people in the door as possible so that we can get the best contract possible. We also have a just listed e-flyer that goes out. So that's an e-blast that's sent to all of my personal and professional contacts. And that again is just a wonderful and beautiful marketing piece that's sent out to everyone I know. I want everyone I know to know that you've listed your property. If anyone is interested or knows anyone who is interested or in the market, this just gives more visibility to this listing. And as agents, we know it's more visibility to us, the listing agent. We also have online promotion. Now, this can be multifaceted depending on how you market. Your online promotion, your photo slideshow automatically is posted on our At Home in the Mid-Atlantic YouTube channel. You are also able to go into your listing concierge, get your DIY video and your professional slideshow, and you're able to share those on social media. You're able to embed them into your Agent in Touch website, and you're also able to create, and I would highly recommend creating your own YouTube channel where you're putting out the marketing that you're providing. These are just additional ways of getting the information out to the public so that it's more visible, more people will find this particular listing, and they might be interested and come and purchase the house. That's from a seller perspective. From an agent perspective, I just want to push out my marketing as much as possible. I really do love these HGTV type videos. I love the professional voiceover, and even the one with just the music is lovely as well. This also gives you an opportunity that if you do have a YouTube channel or you have that somewhere out on the website, that you're able to go directly to your website. Maybe you have a page with some of your marketing. Mine isn't as great, but here you'll see I have that property marketing here, and this belongs to another agent, of course, because I don't buy or sell, but I'm able to go through and show them the actual marketing that I'm going to provide. And that's very impressive to a seller. It's something above and beyond. And again, my digital marketing team is going to put this together. It's going to be professionally created and put out to the entire internet for them to see. Also, I have with the gold package, now if you have a silver package, it's going to talk about the listing concierge just listed postcard. Now you do get 50 of those with silver. With the gold or the platinum package, you're going to get 100 of these silver envelopes. Now this is a stunning trifold property announcement that I directly mail to your neighborhood, because I want everyone to know that you've listed your home, and I want them to know, that you're selling your home. Maybe they have people that they know that want to move into the neighborhood, or maybe the hairdresser's talking about moving, or grandma needs to move, anything, where this is going to just wow them even more. Now, as agents, I will tell you, the whole purpose of this piece of the marketing is not only to get your listing noticed, but mainly to get you noticed as the agent. I worked with Donna in the Bel Air office. She sent out the postcards. They went out. She listed the property. It went under contract very quickly. She was then able to send the just sold postcard in addition to that. And about a couple weeks later, she received a call from someone who lived 3 doors down and across the street. And they cut her off in the middle of her doing this listing presentation and said, "We already know we're going to sign with you. Can we just sign the paperwork? We got your marketing. We went online. We looked at the marketing that you sent. We visited that single property website. We looked at the photos that you provided, and it was all stunning and professional and beautiful. And that's how we want to list our house." And we also noticed that we got the marketing for the property, and not long after it was sold. So people will take notice I have heard agents say, I'm not thrilled with this marketing. Everyone opens their mail over the trash can. That's true, but we still open it. So people that are thinking about selling their home, they're going to notice this, and anyone who's interested in that property. Now, you don't have to send this to their neighborhood. Maybe you have a seller that says, I really don't want everyone in the neighborhood to see the inside of my house. You know, I don't want to send it to my neighborhood. Is there somewhere else we can send it? You can go into the MLS. You can choose any properties that you want to mail this to. You can upload your own mailing list into the system, and you're able to send these postcards, or in this case, these trifold property announcements in these cool silver envelopes. You can send them to the people of your choice. So if you have, for example, maybe I have a few sellers who are on the fence, I'm going to include them in my marketing, and then maybe do a radius after that. So it does give you some different options for targeting specific people as well. Then we'll move on to the mobile brochure. And I find that this seems to be the piece that most agents I talk to don't understand more than anything else. So this is that exclusive yard sign, that panel that you get from your SSA once you've placed your order, that you can put onto your arm sign that sits in the yard. What happens is somebody comes through, they text that code to that specific number, and it's all geofencing. So there's a satellite up above that looks down on the property and says, oh, you're looking for this specific property, and it's going to send them that e-flyer. They don't have to get out of the car. They don't have to walk across a wet lawn to get that property brochure out of the brochure box. If you want to still have a brochure box, there's nothing wrong with that. This is just something in addition to. Now, what happens is you will get a notification that has come through, and then you're able to reach out directly to that person and say, are you pre-approved? Would you like to see this home? That's very impressive to a seller. So you're basically telling me that somebody can ride by my house. They're gonna ask for photos and videos and information, and you're able to market directly to them and to get them in to see the home as soon as possible. That's very impressive. Now, also from an agent standpoint, those are leads. Those are more leads coming in. Those are lead generation that I can do while still providing a great service to those potential customers in the form of photos, etc. They come directly to their mobile device. So that's just an additional thing that I offer in my marketing. Not only have I put in my beautiful North Star logo on your lawn with, most likely, and it doesn't show it here, my name rider, because that's my reputation that's hanging in the front yard. So it's really important to me that we do this marketing correctly, because I want you to be a happy customer. And then as well, we also have that property tour. So we do have that professional produced photo slideshow with the narration that comes in within 1 week. Some agents have told me lately, but my listings are flying off the market before I can do anything with that. That's okay. We can still take these and embed them into your In Touch agent website. We're still able to share them on social media to be representative of the marketing that we provide as an individual agent. And it's also very impressive. I call it the HDTV effect, because they really do remind me of something you would see on TV. We also have an area realtor notification. So I'm letting people know that, maybe there are agents that work in this area, they're showing homes in this area. I want to make sure that they see your property as soon as it's listed. So this does go out once a week. It notifies agents that your home has come onto the market. Maybe they have a buyer who's just seen everything in the area so far. Maybe it's an agent that's not as good with the MLS and they've somehow missed it. We want to make sure that no agent out there misses your property. I want to make sure that I'm getting your property in front of as many people as possible so they can bring their buyers and we can get the home sold. We also have our internet marketing advantage, and that's just part of being under that Coldwell Banker umbrella. So because I am a Coldwell Banker agent, your property will be shown on hundreds of websites. I think now it's something ridiculous, like 700 plus websites. But you don't just find us on Coldwell Banker Homes or coldwellbanker.com. We're on the Wall Street Journal. We're in Hamptons International. We're on homes.com, Trulia, Zillow, realtor.com, hotpads, all the places, New York Times, that people go and research and look for properties. And Coldwell Banker actually pays a little bit extra so that we do have those really great, just that really great relationship with those those internet sites so that we can get that marketing out there. And we do have a seller update. So with this package of marketing that I'm providing to you, I will send you within, it's about a week, a detailed report outlining everything that I've promised right now that I'm going to give to you. And I'm going to show you that it has been done. So there's the accountability factor. That makes us more honest. It makes us more trustworthy. Not only am I promising that I'm going to do all these things for you, but I'm going to deliver a report to you to let you know that it has been done, to maximize the exposure of this listing, to find all the people that we can find to bring them in as well. And then you'll see here, you're also able to update this if you've already had an open house or you've done some additional marketing. You can let your listing concierge coordinator know, and you are able to include that as well. And it goes through some very basic, you'll see it goes through some very basic things. So it goes through, ordered and installed the property sign. You entered the property into the MLS, fed the property, to 900 plus websites, professional photography. And again, it's going through all of the different components of this listing that you promised that you would give to them, and then getting started. So you'll see that I did the very basic 12-minute listing presentation, but you might say, well, wait, where's the CMA? I don't see that portion. So your 12-minute listing presentation is just going to be your basic listing concierge package, but you are able to add pages here. So I am able to go in. Maybe I don't want this to necessarily be just a 12-minute presentation, but I want to outline everything that I'm going to be providing for them. Maybe this is something I send to them in advance of my regular listing presentation, but I can add from the library. I can also create new custom pages where I can include videos of maybe some of those slideshows that I've done in the past for previous listings. This is where you can take anything that you've done in the past and really make it shine as well. And you'll see here we have that little, kind of hard to see, that little circle, and it's thinking, it's just bringing everything together. So the first thing that you're going to see are these are your report pages, and report pages are how you report your comparative marketing analysis. So that CMA that you have, you can see here, we have a cover page and it says remove. So we know that that's already included in this presentation. If I've completed that property summary with a lot of the information, I can add that to my presentation as well. And then any of the components of the CMA in the system, I can add as many or as few as I choose. So maybe I want to give them a listing location map to show them a map of all of the different properties in my CMA and all the comparables and where they are on the map. Maybe I just want to show them a side-by-side comparison or give them some listing overviews. I would just click that add button and it will add that into my presentation on my behalf. I always like to point out the estimate comparison. If you have any sold properties, which you most likely do in your CMA, this will compare the comp and the Zestimates to the actual sold prices. So that only works if there are actually any solds in your CMA, and some other information here as well. Anything, again, that you want to include, you can, and you're also able to click on it and go in and see what does it look like. So I find that that's a very good benefit as well. Maybe I'm not as familiar with the system and I don't know what is a price and size graph. This is what it looks like. If I think that my seller is really going to love this information, I'll include it. If not, then I just won't include it. There's also some status comparisons as well. How do all of the things in your CMA compare to each other and the subject property? So you'll see now my pages have gone up to 19 pages. So I'm able to click there and I can see here my listing location map and my estimate comparison are at the top. Now I can toggle through and I can rearrange the order that these are shown in to reflect the narrative that I have when I do my listing presentation. So listing location map, again, that's going to be anything that I've included in my CMA. And they're able to go in and to click on those properties. They can see anything that the listing agent has included as well. And the estimate comparison, that's not going to work for this one. I didn't have any sold properties, but it will give you an estimate. I believe one time we did this, it was 17% off. I'd included some properties in Joppa that those estimates were all about $50,000 or more over. So again, if it doesn't fit your narrative, if it doesn't help you out, you're also able to go over here and hit the X button and get rid of it. So this again is just the base 12-minute listing presentation. Again, I did include that CMA portion here just to give them a little bit of information. I can also take that out if I don't want to use that. And I'm also able to save as a template. So remember in the beginning when we started, I said, you know, I can go through, I can create this presentation to match my narrative any way that I want, and I can save this as a template. So I don't have to come back in later. I don't have to add pages, subtract pages. I get it exactly the way that I want it, and I can customize this title. So maybe I want to say, you know, 12-minute gold, and this is a seller presentation, and I can save it. However, I'm going to look for it in my templates later. That's how I'm going to save that. And the next time I create new, this is the exact template in this order that I will find, and I can start over from scratch and not have to add and subtract any pages. Does anybody have any questions up to this point? You can put them in chat, or you can unmute yourself and just shout it out. But that's your basic 12-minute presentation. I did have an agent in the last class that we did this ask, well, what if I already am using a presentation? I have a template and I just want to incorporate this 12-minute listing presentation inside of that. You're able to do that too. You can create new from scratch. So I'm going to go into that seller presentation. I'm going to continue, and then all of my templates will come up, and we're going to go down again to that Mid-Atlantic region because that's where we are. And you'll see here there's also a pre-listing presentation. So that's also a very, very short presentation. We have the Mid-Atlantic presentation, which is 56 pages. And again, if I've whittled any of that down, I know a lot of agents like to go in and take this seller's presentation and kind of minimize it, take out the stuff you don't want, leave the stuff that you do. You're able to do that. I can check off the particular template I want. And again, I'm just going to do for the sake of a class so that I remember what it is later. I would put my client's name in, and again, it goes to the do nothing page. So don't panic. It is thinking, it's pulling that information out of the library. It's kind of like pulling the books off of the shelf to get all of that ready for you. And then it will come up with that little circle that's going to come up in a minute. And it's going to let you know that it's thinking and that it's working. So here's that little circle, and it's going to come up. You'll see here I have 14 pages. Now I can skip ahead. I can add my CMA in here. I can do it via search, or again, add those MLS numbers. I can view all the listings included on the estimates page, and here are the 14 pages. So you'll see here that these pages are different. Now I can click on them to get that snapshot over here of what is included. We do have something exciting coming up that we'll be teaching on next month. You will be able to take your CBX buyer profile and import it right into Moxi. But here, let's say I want to add my 12-minute listing presentation. I not only want to give them this information, but I also want to incorporate all of the different features of Listing Concierge. I'm able to go to add a page, and I want to add from my library. Again, we can create new. We can create pages where we're showcasing some of the former videos that we've had out, some of the different marketing that we've already done for previous clients. And sometimes that's very impressive to say, I listed this house and I got a contract over offer, you know, over the asking price within 4 days or even 5 days. I had a friend the other day that had listed her house with one of our agents, and her house did take a little bit longer to sell. I believe hers sold in about a month, and she was just wildly impressed that it only took a month to sell. So don't think that everybody out there is waiting for you to sell it in 3 days. She was really happy that it sold in a month. So you'll see here, again, the report pages are here. But I can also go into my brokerage pages, and that's where I'm going to find the listing concierge. So you'll see here we have some miscellaneous, and this is really where you can go in and create any type of presentation that you want. You can really tailor to your individual agent needs. And here I have some listing concierge, some just generic pages that I can put in. I don't want global luxury. I am going to stick with visionary just for the purpose of this class. And you'll see here, what I love the most is it's letting me know what program I'm choosing. So if I know that when I meet with them, I'm going to do silver, I can add that in, but I'm not going to add professional photography for platinum. That's going to go into a little bit of information about that, not only the 36 professional photos, the online and print, but give them some additional information as well. So that also gives the virtual twilight photo, and the platinum also gives you the aerial shots as well. But I'm able to go in and I can add any piece of this that I would like. So let's say I'm doing a silver, I can add all of those here. And I can just go through and I can skip the ones that say gold or platinum, and I can just add those specific right there. And then once I do that, you'll see that my pages have gone up again, and there are my 21 pages, and I can scroll through and see what order they're in. I can change the order if it fits my narrative. I can go through, as always, I want to view this on the web, and I can also print this out. So some of you may not be aware, we do have the ability in most offices, we have our Unibind machine. If this is something that you would like to print out on, you know, two-sided as a book and bind it and take it with you as well, you're able to do that. Now, in doing that, it will adjust all of your marketing, because in that web presentation, it is landscapes. We have that horizontal view. When it goes to the PDF, it will automatically take it and create a portrait image of your marketing. Again, this is something that you can print out to give to someone if they're on the fence, they don't know if they want to sell their home. And you'll see here I have this generic one because I didn't change that background. I am able to then go in and change that background for it. Proven success. So you'll see anything that I've included. These are some additional pages, and then marketing your home. So we know where the buyers are, and then we get into that listing concierge information. So we go through that 12-step process, online impact, and again, rapid response, all of the things that are in here that fit your narrative. If something doesn't fit your narrative, let's say you say, well, I don't know CBX yet. I haven't used it yet. I'm not sure what it is. Take this out. They'll never know. They'll never know if you've removed something. Again, it's part of your narrative. start to finish what we provide, step by step, how are we going to list your property? And this again is a page that even if you only use the 12-minute listing presentation, you can add this page in as well. So we're going to price it, we're going to prepare it, we're going to market it, and we're going to close it, because we know that any marketing worth doing is worth doing right. It's not going to be an overnight process, because we want to get this done, again, with a full digital marketing team that we have working on this and then getting started. So you'll see it really does give you some options there. Again, we can go in and, edit that cover page. Anything that you're able to edit will have that little pencil there for you. And then as we go through, we decide I really don't want that buyer profile there, I can remove that. It won't remove it from the original template, just from this one. And let's say I have this and it's exactly the way I want it. Again, I can save this template. And I'm just going to name it something generic and seller. You just name it something that you know how to find it and hit save. And that just means the next time I have a listing appointment, I can go in and I can pull up this exact presentation and start from scratch. And these are the pages that will be included. Again, I can go in, I can include my CMA here if I choose to, or not include my CMA. That is the beauty of Moxi, that you're able to get all of that information. But a lot of times somebody will say, I use Listing Concierge, but I'm not really sure how to present it. And again, I would not present it as, oh, I'm willing to pay for this program that I have at Coldwell Banker. It's, I already have my digital marketing team on the standby to start all of this marketing on your behalf for your property when we get this listed. It also helps you not negotiate that 3 or 3.5 or 4% commission rate that you're asking for, because when you're providing all of this information and all of this marketing, they're definitely getting what they're paying for. And again, don't be afraid to say, this is the marketing I provide. However, if we go from 3 to 3.5%, I'm also able to add this on to the marketing. So that gives you that option as well. Does anybody have any questions? No, it's a lot of information. If you get stuck and you're in there at any time and you want some help, I'm available to help you.